Hey everyone, I hope everyone had a good holiday as we continue to approach the end of the year, New Year's Eve coming along. I just wanted to do a video of some of the Elvis purchases I made this year. It's just like some of the newer stuff that came out. Now I did buy some, like some records and stuff from record stores and stuff, but maybe like the next year I'll do kind of like a full kind of showcase of my Elvis records. So this is some of the stuff. Again, there was a lot of Elvis stuff that came out this year with CDs and records and with FTD and all that stuff. It's not everything. I know that there's some other channel, other channels that they have pretty much get everything, which is kind of cool. But this is just some of the few things that I purchased. So the first one I got was the 1974 Elvis Down in the Alley opening night. I reason I got this was because Elvis changed the set list, and I thought it was kind of cool. Since he was singing some songs, some of the newer songs, some songs that that he rarely sang. Unfortunately, apparently the crowd or the audience didn't respond well to the new songs. So the next night he kind of reverted back to his kind of standard set list, which is that was kind of disappointing in a way because he sang a lot of cool songs. He opened with Big Boss Man. He sang Down in the Alley, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues, and he did a lot of songs from one of my favorite albums, Promised Land. It's Midnight, If You Talk in Your Sleep, of course, the title track "Promised Land." He sang that. So it was really good. He did put some of the classic songs in there, like "Hound Dog," was in there. "Love Me Tender," but apparently the audience, just didn't respond well to it. I guess, or I don't. And I guess maybe because it was the Vegas crowd. I'm pretty sure they were fans of Elvis, but maybe they weren't as hardcore as a fan. And maybe if he had done this set list on one of his tours, you know, maybe people would have responded better to it. But I do enjoy. I'm a big fan of the Memphis recording services. I always say it's kind of like a cheap version of an FTD, even though they can go up in price though, depending on it. But it's kind of cool. I love the packaging, a hardcover there, and then there's always kind of like a booklet with pictures, so you can see what the concert, from that time period, which is nice. Um, so this was a good one, and again, like a lot of these are kind of like there's probably an FTD version of this that came out probably a couple years ago. So if you have that in your collection, you probably won't need this. But if you missed that one, I think you still can purchase this. I buy mine from ElvisPresleyShop.com. They're based out of Australia, but I might need to stop. Might need to go somewhere else now because a lot of their stuff is like they only get a certain amount for like pre-orders, and then they sell out, and they don't, that's it. So the other one I got was Elvis on tour in 1974, California. Basically, it's three shows from the California area from May, um, which is kind of cool. You get kind of like three shows. People like say, well, the set list is pretty much the same, but I say it's like part of history, really. You can. We're fortunate. We're very lucky. There's a little write up of it. We're very lucky that they recorded these shows on. We're very fortunate for that. So they can come out with these CDs, so we can hear as fans can listen to see how, oh, that's what it would like to be in a concert, is to see Elvis live. The only thing that I was disappointing is like, man, I wish that they could have filmed some of those shows. And I know for some fans, on their 8 millimeters, they were able to film it, and they've done some good things with cleaning up that footage. But man, I wish that they could have professionally done some of these shows. Would have been really nice. I guess this is like the '70s. I guess there wasn't really a market for, like, nobody really thought of tapes, selling concert tapes. But man, that would have been really cool. They could have made a lot of, imagine if they had that and they could have sold those. Elvis looked great, and this is 1974. I found like I have a lot of 1974 shows. Hopefully like next year they'll come out with some 1975 or '76. But yeah, this is great. The packaging with the pictures and stuff. And what's cool, what is cool here, there's this one has kind of in CD2, there's bonus tracks. April 24th, 1974, home recordings. So you have Spanish Eyes and Let Me Be the One. So I thought that was pretty cool just to have that, those home recordings. The other one I was gonna get, I wasn't gonna get this, but I saw another YouTuber did an unboxing of it, and I was like, you know what, maybe I should get it. And it's this one, Elvis is recorded live in Memphis, 1974. I do have, that other one that came out, was the live in, Memphis one, and I was like, I have that one. Why would I need another one? But I was like saying, this is technically, truly his homecoming to Memphis. So you get basically two shows. You have the March 16th, 1974 afternoon show at the Mid-South Coliseum, and then you have the March 17th, 1974 evening show at the Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis. I guess it's always cool, him coming back to his hometown for a concert. I think that's something that I would like to collect, those shows, just because it's just special for him to be back in Memphis, in his hometown. This is a great shot. You got again some really cool songs on here. Again, and I love the shot of the Mid-South Coliseum. I heard rumors. I mean, I think that I don't know. I could be, if they tore down the Mid-South Coliseum, I really hope that they keep it, and renovate it, or just because they could really do tours, especially in Elvis week. I'm sure that there's a lot of people that would love to go to the Mid-South Coliseum and see where he toured and stuff. And I just, nowadays they always tore things down, build new stadiums and stuff. But that's such a landmark in Memphis, not only for Elvis, but also wrestling. The Mid-South Coliseum with Memphis wrestling. It's such a part of history. I think that people would love to and especially performers, singers would love to, this probably, sing at Mid-South Coliseum, a place where Elvis, there's a picture of the Coliseum, where Elvis performed. I love these shots outside, him getting into the limo, going to the concert and stuff. With his dad. But yeah, I wish they could save it, but I guess it's, it's all about, everything comes down to money, if they're gonna, somebody's gonna come down and because I think originally they were gonna tear it down and make it into, I think, a soccer stadium, I think. But I say that they should kind of, fix it up and they can do tours. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people wouldn't be interested. Next time I go to Memphis, if it's still around, I definitely want to go check it out. I didn't do the one time I went. Could be my only time, but if I ever go back to Graceland, and if the Mid South Coliseum is still up, I don't think you could. It might be an offense or whatever. I don't know if you can actually walk up to it. I think the Spa guy did a video of it, which is kind of cool. So yeah. So this is really cool. I definitely like. So, and then the box set that came out this year from RC Legacy, still having kind of, is the Elvis Presley Sunset Boulevard. When this came out, I was like, I'm not gonna get this because a lot of these songs have been re-released and stuff. So I was gonna get it, but I saw it on Amazon. A lot. What's good about these legacy CDs or box sets, you can find them on Amazon. FTDs you can't. You have to buy them at an Elvis online site or something, and that's going to cost you a lot of money. This is a little bit, again, budget friendly. When I think, but it depends, because if you wait, because Grayson's website was selling this for like $80. Amazon you might find it a little bit cheaper, and then and it was just cool when you buy it from Amazon. You have Amazon Prime. You can get it the next day or 2 days later. So this is like the Sunset Boulevard, Elvis 1972 and 1975 recordings. Some good stuff here. You have that basically the Burning Love, Always on My Mind, Separate Ways. Those kind of recordings that he did. You have like the Masters, the CD1. Disc 2 is the outtake highlights. And then, which is cool on here, you also have rehearsals, the 1970 rehearsals on here. and then you have that's disc 3 and disc 4, and then this disc 4 also has the 1974 rehearsals, and disc 5 finishes the 74 rehearsals. The quality of those rehearsals are not the best. Again, they're not professionally recorded, so just keep that in mind. It's not professionally done, so the audio is not 100%. But yeah, I'm really glad that I got this. And then I also got the CD. Oh, the this one that came out from it's Graceland's exclusive. So let's open it up. Show you. Back. Cool picture of the back. But this is the colored Graceland exclusive lemonade and orange crushed vinyl. So I'll show you what so that's that. And I'll show you what the orange one looks like. I guess if you're really into colored records, they also came out with the regular, the standard record for this, black record. That's, something that you can, you can still get. I don't think you can get this version from Graceland's anymore. I think they're sold out. So the last one I got here is the Girl Happy FTD record. I don't know about you, but I really like this album. I really like this movie. Again, it's one of those like people like, oh, it's like a goofy kind of like Elvis, movie, but I really like the soundtrack to this movie. Here in the FTD. Now FTD came out with like the box set, the recording sessions, and so I was gonna get that. That's really expensive. This is expensive too. I think this was like $65, but now I notice now the FTDs are going up in price now. Usually sell for $65, now it's like $69. So next year it's going to be like $100 for these. But yeah, that's like the biggest complaint about these. I want them, but they're so expensive. Yeah. So, and then you have the back cover here, and it's just the standard black record and stuff. So, but yeah, it's this is what I purchased. Some of the newer stuff that came out this year. Again, it's not a lot, but we'll see what comes out next year. 19 so it'll be 2026. What I hope to come out hopefully next year. Hopefully they come out with they already came out with this a couple years ago, and I missed out because I wasn't collecting Elvis. But I would love for them to come out with kind of the Jungle Room sessions, but like everything, everything they recorded, all the songs, every take. And I believe they did come out with that. Maybe the FTD came out with that. And I do have the Legacy version of it too, like the Legacy, but it doesn't have all the takes. So I just want like a complete collection of the Jungle Room set, everything, all the takes, all the songs and all the audio and everything, in a box set. That would be kind of cool because it would be, you think about it, because they did those sessions in 1976, so it would be like the 50th anniversary of it. So if that would be kind of cool, if they could do that and come out with that next year. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what comes out. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Let me know, and if you want to comment, just let me know what you purchased this year and what you recommend, that came out this year that I should get. And then, yeah, thank you.